Okay, let me shift to this right here. I've always had the firm belief that Bill Belichick and not Tom Brady is more responsible for the New England Patriots 20-year dynasty. And, I've done a whole topic on that subject. You guys can check that episode out here on YouTube or on podcasting platforms. I put that out, for you guys to look at. You guys can check out my thoughts on, why Bill Belichick, to me personally, is more responsible for the New England Patriots dynasty. But, I've always talked about, how it's very important to have great quarterback play on your team. I'm a guy that doesn't like to go cheap on quarterbacks. I respect the Nick Foles of the world. I respect the Jimmy Garoppolo's, the Teddy Bridgewater's, the Gardner Minshew's of the world. But in reality, I want a top 10 quarterback. I want the guys like Kyler Murray, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. I want those guys, okay? I want playmakers at the quarterback position. However, I've come to the realization that having a great head coach is more important than having a great quarterback. And ultimately, if I had a choice between Patrick Mahomes or Bill Belichick today, I'm choosing Bill Belichick. And I'll tell you why I'm leaning towards having an elite head coach over having an elite quarterback. I'll tell you why. Because here's the thing, folks. Think about this situation right here. If Deshaun Watson had Bill Belichick as his head coach and Patrick Mahomes had Bill O'Brien as his head coach, who do you think has a better chance to win the Super Bowl? The argument of having an elite quarterback or a quarterback better than a guy like Deshaun Watson, who's pretty good himself, but you get the point. The advantage goes to Deshaun Watson. Patrick Mahomes, as talented as he is, I don't think he's talented enough to overcome Bill O'Brien's shortcomings as a head coach. See, what you folks have to realize is this. You can get to a Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl with an average quarterback, but a great head coach. It's hard to get to and win Super Bowls with a great quarterback, but average coaching. Keep this in mind, folks. Peyton Manning won a Super Bowl throwing 9 touchdowns and 9 touchdowns to 17 interceptions in 2015. Peyton Manning had his second worst season as a pro in the National Football League. But because of great coaching and because of a great roster around him, Peyton Manning was able to win the Super Bowl. Nick Foles, a guy right now that cannot beat out Mitchell Trubisky in Chicago. Nick Foles has won a Super Bowl. Do you want to know why Nick Foles has won a Super Bowl? He won a Super Bowl because Doug Peterson coached his butt off during the playoffs. He outcoached Bill Belichick in the Super Bowl. And say what you want about Doug Peterson's struggles this year, when he's on, he's a darn good head coach. He's one of the best head coaches in the entire NFL when he is on his A game. Jimmy Garoppolo beat Aaron Rodgers twice last season. He beat Aaron Rodgers in an NFC Championship game. Did he beat Aaron Rodgers because he's a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers? No. He beat Aaron Rodgers because Kyle Shanahan is a better head coach than Matt LaFleur, and Matt LaFleur was vastly outcoached in that matchup, and the Packers did not match up with the 49ers. Jared Goff has gotten to a Super Bowl. Is Jared Goff a top 10 quarterback? No, he's not. Jared Goff's very good, but he's not special. Heck, for the love of God, Jared Goff just handed the terrible, sorry, and 0-13 New York Jets their first win of the 2020 NFL season. And by the way, when Jared Goff got to a Super Bowl, when he had the number 1 scoring offense at his disposal, with Todd Gurley, an elite offensive line, a great defense behind him led by Aaron Donald, he lost in the Super Bowl. You want to know why he lost in the Super Bowl? He lost in the Super Bowl because Bill Belichick kicked Sean McVay's tailbone. Sean McVay got outcoached by a mile in that Super Bowl. And Jared Goff, despite having the better team at his disposal, he struggled because his head coach could not save him. Tom Brady did everything that he could to try to overcome Bill Belichick's mistakes in the Super Bowl versus the Philadelphia Eagles when Nick Foles beat him. But Tom Brady, despite throwing for over 500 yards and throwing for 3 touchdowns, he could not overcome his team's shortcomings because the Philadelphia Eagles outcoached the New England Patriots. Can we not forget that Joe Flacco has won a Super Bowl? Joe Flacco's the backup quarterback for the New York Jets right now. Joe Flacco, he can't even start for the Jets right now. And he has won a Super Bowl. You want to know why he's won a Super Bowl? Because he played on a great team with a great head coach named Jim Harbaugh. Folks, Trent Dilfer has won a Super Bowl. And when we look at the guys like Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Terry Bradshaw, Troy Aikman, 4 quarterbacks that have 17 Super Bowls won between the four of them. When we look at guys like Brady, Montana, Bradshaw, and Aikman, we recognize they have great intangibles. We recognize they're Hall of Famers. We recognize Tom Brady and Joe Montana probably are the 2 greatest quarterbacks of all time. But as far as physical talent, are they as good as guys like Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Brett Favre, Dan Marino, etc., etc.? No. But you want to know why those guys have the Super Bowls and guys like Aaron Rodgers don't? Because they've had great coaching throughout their entire career. Anyone who thinks that Terry Bradshaw and Troy Aikman are better quarterbacks than Aaron Rodgers, they just don't know what they're talking about. Because when I look at Troy Aikman, the guy for his career threw 165 touchdown passes to 141 interceptions. That's not knocking your socks off. That's not great. Terry Bradshaw, for his career, threw 2 more touchdowns than interceptions. For his career, he's got 212 touchdown passes to 210 interceptions. Now, I get it. It's a totally different new era. Everyone's putting up a bunch of godly stats nowadays. But come on, folks. Terry Bradshaw, is he one of the most talented quarterbacks you've ever seen? I hope not, because he's good, but he's not a physically, imposing quarterback. He's not a guy that, is special. He's not better than Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, John Elway, etc., etc. He's not the most talented guy. But because he had a great Hall of Fame head coach, he won a bunch of Super Bowls. And my fear for guys like Deshaun Watson, Matthew Stafford, Aaron Rodgers, Justin Herbert is this. They're talented quarterbacks. They have rocket arms. They're great athletes. They can make all the throws. But unfortunately, I think some of their talents are being wasted because they don't have the right head coaches for them. Justin Herbert, I hope and pray he gets the right head coach for him, because if the Chargers continue to be a dysfunctional organization that won't spend top of the level money on top tier head coaches, Justin Herbert's not going to go anywhere. He's not going to do anything in the postseason. Same thing can be said for the Houston Texans and Deshaun Watson. Thank God Matt LaFleur is in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers right now. We'll see if Aaron Rodgers can capitalize on his final, couple of years to win a Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford, God bless him, he can't win in Detroit. His rosters and coaching staffs are awful. Folks, coaching matters. Whenever you see the Tom Brady's of the world, or the Joe Montanas of the world, or the Steve Youngs, or the Terry Bradshaws, or the Troy Aikmans of the world winning Super Bowls, it's mainly because they have great head coaches. Bill Walsh, Bill Belichick, great guys that know how to coach and know how to control an entire locker room and get the most out of their roster. Having a great head coach is much more important than having a great quarterback, in my opinion, no doubt about it. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juiciest Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juiciest Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.